Oh boy, you're on a jug
Radiant
train now. I
team pick.
don't know how I feel about that.
Okay, maybe not now. Not against the tiny, because it feels like you have no answers for the tiny super late. So they might even just Terrorblade against this, and I wouldn't hate it.
More than likely going to be the Sanctity Tiny, of course.
10 seconds remaining.
We've seen 4-2-3
Could be
played.
4-2-3.
It
5
could, but
seconds
could be
remaining.
do you think it's likely to be Kishka? I think it's you got your Doom 4
Probably not.
Visage 3. I think you definitely go for your 5 here to hide the flex of the Tiny.
Yep.
Dire team
So don't hate the Bane. I mean, again, I was asking for something like a Treant or a Abaddon, but Bane kind of fulfills the same sort of stuff, right? You're going to have the Nightmare to be able to disrupt a lot of the aggression that a Dragonite stun plus Bushwhack plus Sharpshooter is going to provide. So yeah, I don't hate
10
it.
seconds remaining.
It is still so single target though that I'm like, man, just
5 seconds
just please
remaining.
go something that's able to punish that. I mean, Terrorblade is the one for mine. You're able to be aggressive-ish in lane. Yeah, the Soul Assumption is nice at dealing a lot of the magic damage into a TB who doesn't have the greatest mana pool, but I feel like you can just push them out of lane basically pretty easily.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's another route they can go down for RSG. I'm pretty happy with the Terrorblade as well. If they want that for Mr. MKS.
Or a Monkey. Monkey's pretty decent. Even just man fighting against a tiny, as long as you drop the Wukongs down, you're generally pretty satisfied.
So you're really feeling like this a 4-2-3 Tiny?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, again, there's the flex, right? But you never want a discount, of course, a tiny one.
Yeah, I think it's like 95% Sanctity Tiny. I feel like the hero, if you're going to play the Tiny as a 1 now, I think he needs to have a steroid, Mag, Invoker, to name a few.
Radiant
Still go the
team
Invoker,
ban.
right?
Morphling.
Not a huge fan. I mean, you're against a Doom, who's a very good matchup for the Morphling. You're against a Bane, who, enfeebled, pretty damn good against the Morphling. It's not the most
10
aggressive laner,
seconds
which I'm
remaining.
not a big fan of. Yeah, don't really like this Morphling pick, to be
5
honest.
seconds remaining.
You?
No. I think what's going to happen is they're just going to spam abilities, and Morphling's going to be playing on full strength, and he's not going to be able to last it. So, yeah, it's a lane where they don't
Even
have.
I was about to say, even if it's a mid-tiny, right? You're going to get an early
Dire
blink, you're going to be
team
making those
ban.
rotations happen. And a Morphling, most of the time when he's farming, wants to be pretty agi-oriented, so able to be picked off pretty easily. So yeah, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I think it's. I'm also still very intrigued to
10
see
seconds.
just in
Radiant
general how
team
Morphling
ban.
fits into the meta and Dota overall with the changes to the Scepter, and the rest of the toolkit for the Morphling. I mean,
Dire team
we haven't really
ban.
seen any like crazy Ag Scepter, like ridiculously broken stuff. So I don't know. Maybe there's something that MKS is seeing that we are not, but at least just in the basics of the lane match, I'm a bit concerned. But it does, of course, show the carry for RSG. So this is now. This was some flex for them. Of course, you got the DKs at 2 or
10
3.
seconds
Lilgun feel
remaining.
like this is going to be given over to Sillon. So they're starting to ban out
5
some of the off-lane
seconds
heroes with the
remaining.
Beastmaster and the Timber Sword dealt with. Now, we are looking
I
at
mean, I
Lil...
wouldn't have had it either.
What's up?
Radiant
Sorry, I'm just
team
thinking,
pick.
like, what can they actually look to pick up against this? Because the Timbersaw would have been good against the
Dire
Beastmaster for
team pick.
the issues that I mentioned
I
earlier,
speak
right? With
for
the full-on rat.
trees.
Don't hate the Prophet. But what can you actually do that just picks up the tempo a little bit? Because I feel like, well, not necessarily picks up the tempo, but is able to respond to the tempo. Because again, if this is like a one Nature's Prophet and a
10
mid-tiny, for
seconds
example,
remaining.
they're going to be making a lot of rotations early. You're going to have a Visage who wants to be
5
getting kills
seconds
from,
remaining.
getting his net worth from kills quite a lot. So how can you look to respond to that? Like, what can instantly look to rotate? There's no Underlord, there's no Nature's Prophet.
You may now select
Batrider,
your
huh?
heroes.
So is that a mid-bat, you reckon?
I think off, but it can be flexed. It is a mid-bat.
I think it's no, yeah, it's a mid bet because Tiny again has 0 armor, right? So you just want to get a bunch of those sticky napalm stacks up and look to harass him out.
Okay. I think it's a very good Batrider pick. Is it game
It is.
winning? It could be. Lilgun could definitely pop off this game.
I think he can, but I feel like you've got a Bane who is very capable of just locking you down, right? Because what super long range interrupts do you have for the Fiend's Grip? Basically nothing, right? So as long as he's in a really good position on Ace, he could actually look to try and get the turnaround and enable someone like a Tiny to come in with an Avatos combo into a Soul Assumption, yada yada yada. So I like Lilgun's draft earlier on, but of course, like we've been saying, the Batrider could pop off. It just really depends on how his positioning is relative to the Bane.
Yeah, and we were kind of mentioning in the last draft that there were quite some issues for Lilgun, and they might not be able to deal with illusion heroes. Bring that up as the potential. I think it's very similar in this game where RSG and their supports, they don't really deal with the split push at all. I feel like the Nature's Prophet is going to get a lot out of the map. You don't really have ways to wave clear. I mean, really, what hero can actually wave clear for RSG? It's going to be very difficult. Batrider doesn't do it with ease. DK doesn't.
DK with
Morphling
Shard.
doesn't. DK with Shard, I suppose.
DK
Yeah.
Shard.
Okay. So, really looking
Maybe. I mean, yeah, that's it. Essentially, those two. So, especially once you get like that 15-minute Aghanim Shard on the Nature's Prophet, I feel like that is, of course, going to be just such a high emphasis for them to pick up here for 4-2-3 because you might be able to deal with a full wave of just regular Nature's Call treants with a Bushwhack, for example, but not if they've got the giant ones. That's too much for you to deal with.
I am going to give the edge over to Lilgun. Really like the draft they have. I think there is not particularly an answer to 4-2-3 on this Nature's Prophet, and I think this one, I think the Heroes of One is quite strong in a game where there is no answer.
I think Sanctity as well. He's a good player. He should do okay against the Bat. You could see he's emphasized into the Magic Wand here against the toughish lane matchup. But I feel like if he does all right, he'll get that early-ish Blink Dagger. Nice deny there by Exilon. And be able to rotate through the Morphings lane with the Blink Dagger. I feel like it's just setting them up for success. So, yeah, Lilgun for me too.
The battle begins.
Alright, so we give the edge both to Lilgun, but I think we were both feeling like if the way for RSG to take this game is really off the back of the Batrider just popping off.
Do they have heroes to make stacks? I mean, Xiao Bonbon's certainly capable of doing it. I think that's going to be a bit of a necessity here. We could see how much emphasis they're putting onto the power runes as well. Going to be very important to just try and deny that away from Exilon.
Yeah,
MKSD's already taken a lot of the harass up on this top side. Only level 1 as well, so takes quite a while for him to morph up. And look at Roger, just the first point into the Voodoo Restoration. And not sure how much that's exactly going to do, my man.
Roger? 11 should be able to close the distance with the Soul Assumption and finds our first blood. So, yeah, already off to another flying start in the offlane is Lilgun. You'd hate to get the Witch Doctor Courier. Luckily, that's not going to be the case for MKS. It's going to wait for him aggressively onto 11. A couple more punches. Nice use of the Iron Branch. Eat it. Oh, no. Eat it.
He eats it.
Value.
You gotta get out of that lane, my man. Has he got anything coming through to him right now? No salve.
Is he going for this? MK's a madman. A couple body blocks. Needs an extra right click and... okay. Okay, really was not expecting this on RSG, but playing quite well as MKS.
He does have his Tango. He's just about to reach him now, so that's a nice little bonus. Also the Null Talisman. Just wants to be spamming out those Soul Assumptions as much as possible. Luckily enough for them. I like the Rogers going into the Bassi ring. Just wanting to keep that Voodoo restoration going as much as possible.
Does he go second point in Voodoo?
I think he can put 2 points into it, yeah.
Yep, same. Yeah, I'm also on the assumption that I was worried that I feel like you'd get spammed out and the Morphling would be playing at too high of a strength morph, but they're about to really get out of the weakest stage in the lane. Like the level 1 and level 2 on Morphling's a big concern, and once you get that second point in Voodoo, then you will have kind of enough to keep Morphling at a threshold where he's okay. That might get aggressive now with that second point picked up, but Kishka with the wraparound. Is that Rogers going to be in harm's way? Soul Assumption from afar, and a couple more right clicks, but Rogers back to the safety of the tower. Has a salve if need be, but look at MKS. Now it does have the respective burst damage coming through from the tree line, so MKS, considering this, oh my god, it's scary.
I was thinking 11 might have just waited until he was level 3. He's just picked it up now, so he has to be very careful. I just want to commend as well. There's so much action happening on this top side that...
Mid lane, Silen's going to go for a dive. Can he get the kill? Yes, sir, he can. Gets it before he gives away his own life. So there we go. Nicely played from Silen. Alright, it's going to look...
Doesn't want to... Any creeps?
Yep. Alright. It's alright, lads. Was not a rage buyback. Nothing to look into it too far. Although
So essentially what I was saying before was on the top side, before they were going for those bunch of kills there, they walked back with the Witch Doctor and the Morphling, and they used the Paralyzing Cast just to deal that extra little bit of damage to the creeps, because they wanted to make sure they got rid of that Satyr Mind Stealer, the one that has the mana regen aura and the mana burn, just because Roger, he would have been essentially completely useless if he would just, if the Doom was able to pick up that mana burn creep and look to punish him.
At bottom lane, some nice harassment out on 4-2-3. Zhao, oh, they were very close to getting the kill, but Ace 12 able to step in and offer some assistance with the Nightmare. He's got the Salve as well, so 4-2-3 is going to be okay. And it does look like he's having quite a decent lane as well. Top of the last hits here with the Fury on 1.
Dire's structures are fortified.
It's to be expected, right? Like, you've got the Treants to be able to assist with that. It's not too much even a DK can do with his great attack damage.
Mid lane again, still doesn't have the Firefly. Top lane though, Roger. It's going to go down, 11. It's not going to be chased down, MKS, but the waveform's still on cooldown. Are they going to turn this one back around? Maybe an Infernal Blade into the Soul Assumption, but they do not have enough damage for the moment. MKS able to tank through this, an aggressive waveform with one more right click, but 11 does get the rebuttal.
Mid lane, Roger just looking to refill Excelon's bottle, make it as easy as possible for him. Have you had a look at the net worth in this mid lane?
Jesus Christ. What
Yeah,
1,000?
I wasn't expecting. I don't know what the hell has happened.
Well, at least you got stacks on Silen to be able to catch up on. Radiant did a very good job. Ace was just able to aggressively make his expedition, as Raven's got to look to connect for a killer. Sancty's got a 3-1 build, but the burst is plentiful for the position too tiny, so he's able to hit the board for the second time this game.
It's lucky. It's Sanctity. Oof. Makes it very, very difficult for Excelon down here in the mid lane. I wonder if they've got the Observer Ward up there to be able to scout out any attempts to be able to take these neutral camps. Of course, Morphling not the greatest at doing it, neither is DK, so it's only going to be Batrider, and if you're able to catch him out before he's able to secure those, kill him, expend that dieback timer, and steal his creeps, that could be huge for Lilgun. So expect them to be holding their TPs to make sure that they're ready to make that rotation.
And it looks like Xiao Bonbon nicely done. It's going to get the Observe Ward along with the Sentry. So now the Ancient's completely dark for Lilgun. They will not have any ideas of when this Ancient stack is being claimed. Oh, what are we expecting?
Build up another set.
What are we expecting the build from the 4-2-3 Nature's Prophet to be this game? Hold that thought.
I mean,
top
he's
lane.
going for the Maelstrom. Ooh.
Gresham, MKS probably going to have to wait for him defensively. If they were going to get aggressive, they were backing off, then chucked out a Maledict on Kishka. I thought they were going to go back in, but that was not the case.
So he's going into this Maelstrom build, which I don't hate. I am probably expecting something like a Gleipnir to come out from
nicely
him.
done. The Hoodwink gets rid of the Nightmare, so they're going to have to turn to try and... Just a lot of damage with the Wrath of Nature. But in the end, you do keep Xiao Yu alive, which is the most important thing. Giving up Xiao Bonbon is okay in the end, but Tao's still going to take a lot of damage. Sanctity looking to get the toss back still in. Now with the extra rotation starting to come through, as Sanctity might be in trouble, but again, Nightmare going to give them enough breathing room as Sanctity with the phase boots will get out of harm's way.
So what you were saying before, I think the Gleipnir is great this game, just because I already talked about previously a big part of Lilgun's success in my eyes is going to be on the back of Ace 12. If you're able to have just that extra person that's able to provide even a couple of seconds of lockdown.
Bounce back, second time with the cask, but okay, they're lacking some damage. So doesn't have many stacks onto Ace. The Avalanche going to hold him back for the moment. They should get the bank. Oh, well, that's not the toss target we're hoping for, Silen. Let's see if he can continue this into a secondary kill, but he doesn't really have the mana to follow up onto Sanctity under the T1 towers, Kishka. Posturing relatively aggressively, just to kind of hold back any attempt from RSG.
Especially being that level 6. He's got the additional armor, so Batrider not anywhere near as able to just get those solo pickoffs onto him anymore. But yeah, you just want, you know, against the Hoodwink, against the Morphling, against the Batrider, Gleipnir is great at just being able to lock them down for that extra couple of seconds that you need to have the Tiny, for example, to close on in, to get the single right-click with the Infernal Blade on the Doom. Just lots of little things that are going to be amped up by something like a Gleipnir here.
Dire's middle tower is
Top
under
lane,
attack.
RSG. Looking to connect. It's not easy though. Witch Doctor trying to start the fight from afar, and now Kish. What the hell was that damage? What was that? Xiao Bonbon also joins his fellow support in the grave as. Oh yes, a good old max bounce of the Wrath of Nature.
435 magic damage that did. Good old Wrath of Nature. Followed by 240 damage from Soul Assumption. So that brings Witch Doctor down to 30 health, I believe, after just those two things.
MKS is in trouble. See if he can waveform TP out. Well, they've always got the familiars to be able to scout the tree line. It's going to look to go for the waveform first. But 11 has the vision. MKS, one TP starting to flock to the neighborhood. I don't know if there's much they can really do to protect the Morphling though, as they surround him underneath the T1 tower. Now 4-2-3 is going to TP in for good measure, but they will not have a stun to hold back Roger, so the kill onto the carry into the T1 tower, a big success for Lilgun.
And that's the thing, right? You're always going to, excuse me, have that +1 potential with this Nature's Prophet, just to absolutely secure any kind of pick-off that's going mildly in your favor. At least Xiao Yu is able to take out the T1 tower on his own on the bottom side. He's having a very good game, and clearly it's nothing super out of the ordinary, but he's prioritizing the Aghanim Shard, realizing that, look, that's the way that I'm going to have to deal with a lot of these Nature's Prophet treants that are going to go for these aggressive kind of
Oh boy. Just, it's so funny, just actually, we're just baiting the Hoodwink to try and get any last hits, who's teasing him with the creeps, and then all of a sudden it goes up, drops the combo, quick and easy kill. His top lane, Doom's out, the Morphling doesn't get the attribute shift, so very nice usage of Kishka's first Doom of the game. Oh, alright, Xiao Yu gonna look to reveal the blink, the Melodic's out, but 11 is tanking through a decent amount of damage at the moment. He should tick out. We've still got 2 more ticks afterwards. He's gonna try and get as much damage as he can before he dies, and with 4-2-3 showing up, Xiao Yu's not the easiest kill, but a really good positioning in the sprouts. He's able to cut his way through the tree nonetheless. And Xiao Yu will get out of harm's way.
Warriors of the wood.
cute little attempt there. Obviously respawning his familiars as well, so he's going to be able to do a little bit of farming and harass in the meantime. Got to be careful about them being picked off though, although the treants will scout out everything here.
Chillin'. Gonna try and drop the combo, paired up with the sharpshooter. That is enough to 1-2 pack a punch. Getting rid of Kishka's life. We are seeing that's another very even game we got. Only 1,000 net worth lead, 12-6 in regards to the kill count. Who are they on to
Going on
next?
this
Ace
bottom.
12. They're going to find the Bat Rider. Roger's going to try and step in place to be able to deal with the Fiends, but it will not matter. They've got enough control to set up for the reinforcements, as Roger will be able to scurry out of harm's way, but they are continuing the chases. The poor Witch Doctor doesn't have the greatest movement speed as Bane steps on in, and they're not done just yet as 11. But the Fimio is finds a second stun, and this should be enough to close the distance as Sanctity. Look at the wraparound. Tiny reading him like a book, recognizing the only avenue he has is instantly blocked off as Lilgun. They're off to a pretty good start.
Even able to take out the courier there with the Void Stone on it, so it means that the full Perseverance isn't available for this Morphling. Ace 12 might have nearly found out MKS on the bottom side here, but it'll let him slink away. Speaking of the Bane, that was the first use of the Fiend's Grip that we saw there, and it was onto the best target possible, right? The Bat Rider. He has the Boots of Travel available, but still wasn't quick enough to be able to avoid the Bane.
Smoke up, Sanctity down to the south, playing by himself as the rest of the team. Moving to the north of the map is RSG. They smoke themselves, going to their own jungle. Gonna run to Ace, and it looks like Lilgun, they're happy with just giving up the life of the Bane. I feel like this is not a position they can take the skirmish. RSG, they're trying to get more out of this. Kishka's gonna posture aggressively. They have the ward on the high ground to play with.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Nothing more will come out of this engagement.
Kind of surprised that Sanctity wasn't alongside the rest of his team. You know, he's got that nice early Blink Dagger, he's got the Phase Boots as well, so very capable of being able to find some of these pickoffs. Maybe just thinking that, you know, I'm capable of finding these pickoffs on my own, that, you know, the rest of the team can kind of bait someone out to think that they're safe to farm.
Yeah, he can kill probably 3 heroes. Bat Rider's actually, I'm surprised at how much health he really has. Depending on the Morphling's attribute shift, he can definitely get 3 wherever they are onto the map. Top lane 11 might be in trouble. Sanctity though was able to get the Witch Doctor before he utilizes his spells, and Arcilla needs to get out. The Firefly just pathing the way for Lilgun. Kishka's able to land down the Doom, and well, he'll make him work for it, but the Firefly's soon to expire. They're going to TP in to lock him out. Oh, beautiful sprout from 4-3. So RSG giving over 2 casualties once again.
What we got coming out for the Morphling here? I mean, it's still just the standard Void Stone that he's got coming out to him shortly. He needs that Linked Sphere. He needs some sort of way to not get caught out when he's off farming a little bit more aggressively. And it does feel like that's the way that he needs to be playing this game. Not just completely safe on the back lines. Force Lilgun to try and make a rotation to take you out, as opposed to just continuing their death ball style. Because you've got a Visage and a Nature's Prophet, right? They want to be pushing.
Down to the south. They're onto the Bane simultaneously. Sanctity, a double jump. Getting rid of another support. We've seen Sanctity Tiny has always been a scary threat. It's felt like he's really, really comfortable on this hero, and that's proving to be the case again.
I'm liking MKS's positioning though. He's doing exactly what I feel he needs to. He's not going to stop.
He's going to move in. Sanctity's everywhere, man. Disrupts the combo, breaks it into half, and now 4-2-3 is going to show up to the party, but the damage, it's too much for Dire to deal with. But MKS wants to be able to get back. He wants a way to turn this fight around, and now with the control, the Sharpshooter as well, they're going to run to the Nature's Prophet in the tree line. As Xiao Yu, out of all heroes, would not expect the Dragon Knight to be the one to get the triple kill, but in the end, it is RSG coming out on top.
That was actually a rotation that I wasn't necessarily expecting, but I suppose if you're a Tiny and go all the way underneath the tower, MKS really on point with his use of the Morph, able to take the Tiny's abilities away and turn him on back around. So it might have been the Dragon Knight that ends up getting the actual kills themselves, but MKS did the vast majority of the damage there. And with that, even though it's only assists, brings him a whole lot closer to being able to pick up that Linked Sphere, and again, just play aggressively out on the map.
And you see what Roger's doing as well, kind of just putting his body in front of the Morphling. Looking to drop some wards, sentries down, create as much space as possible. an environment where he can freely farm without the threat of anyone killing him off. But of course, this will cost Roger his life in the end. But Morphling's already shoved out the lane and now has the Lincolns completed as well from MKS. So first real big item for the Morphling.
And just using the Dragon Knight, I mean, he's level 15 at the 17-minute mark, so Xiaoyu has to be very happy about that, and using the Cleave, of course, to be able to take a lot of these stacks.
Yeah, it's about to have a BKB completed on Xiaoyu, so looking very, very solid.
Radiant's
So much
bottom
net
tower
worth.
is under attack. Dire are scanning.
Even the bat, in terms of relative net
top
worth
tower
compared
is
to
under
his
attack.
mid laner, of course, he was suffering heavily early on into that laning stage, being 1,000 gold behind at about the 4-minute mark. But ever since that buyback, he hasn't really put too many steps wrong, has Exilern.
Yeah, this might kind of my big issue with the Tiny as a position too. Like, you can do
Dire's top
everything
tower is
perfectly,
under
and kind of
attack.
has done so far this game from Sanctity, 6-2 and 6. So they're going to run into the river.
Dire's top
It's
tower
like Sanctity's going to drop the combo, but not enough to blow up Sillern. It's Kishka will fall as a casualty to RSG, and now they might be able to transition this into a tier 1 mid.
Not even my birthday. I guess it could be.
It's always going to be so challenging, though, when you've got these treants, right? They're constantly going to be trying to drag the wave away, stall things out a little bit, like this greater tree in here, just keeping the camp away until at least the Doom's going to be there so that you can mount some sort of a defense. So
Radiant's
Roger
middle
placing the
tower
super deep
is under
observer ward
attack.
means they get a better
Radiant's
indication of what
structures are fortified.
the landscape of the team fight looks like. Might even catch Sanctity here as he's looking to walk through to defend. Yeah. We'll back away just in time, though.
We're just going to start it up. They got maxed out
Radiant's
Melodic,
middle
but nice
tower is under
reactions.
attack.
It's going to reveal the
Look at
location
the
of the
tower, though.
ward.
Tower has fallen.
Are they going to stick around? Oh no, the Ava breaks the combo. Now Kishka off to the side, drops the Doom. They got to get out of harm's way. Roger's going to
Nice
try and
death
hold
ward.
them back. It's a really good death ward. A lot of damage onto Kishka, but again, it will not matter as Sanctity toss in the backline, put Zhao Bonbon into a compromised position as the Hoodwink's going to go down as Sanctity tosses up in a couple of seconds. But it's unfortunately too long, as in the end, a 2-for-1.
And the one that's most satisfied about this is MKS, right? He does not have the tools to be able to fight right now unless the Tiny is super out of position. So he just wants to be sitting back, farming away. Although, this is
Oh, what?
early-ish Roche, I suppose you could say.
Oh my god, MKS. The magic resistance from the Nether Shell, just enough to keep him alive. I think they know. I think they know. Ace is going to check him out. MKS, Lincoln's pop, gets the kill. He's going to try and turn it back around. Toss to buy him a little bit of space, and Dire coming over. Again, like you said, Roche is going on. Sanctity, a blink to the south, but that's exactly where RSG are located. But Sanctity with the pogo stick gets out of harm's way. Now with the age is picked up. I don't know if you want to take this fight, but MKS feels otherwise.
Lotus.
Gonna wait for him to the middle with the Lotus out, blocking the lasso, but now with the Death Ward. Oh, the damage bouncing back and forth. Roger, what is
Look.
that?
Oh.
The Witch Doctor doing it all for them to turn this fight around as RSG. Oh my, they get the Aegis, now looking for the second life as soon as he spawns the Bushwhack to open him up. Now Xiaoyu's got the stunt control and the damage as RSG, when always a team that get crafty with their fights and somehow able to take it.
Even able to clean up the familiars after the fact. Very, very nice play coming through there from Roger, being able to land basically the perfect death ward 3 times in a row now. So with that, he's able to pick up the Vlad's offering. He's going to have the Wraith pack for himself pretty shortly. Things are looking a little bit better for RSG as a result of these past couple of skirmishes.
Waters rise.
So does MKS ever get in a position where you feel like he can carry this game?
I think he does. I mean, it's going to be dependent, of course, on things like not getting caught out by the Fiend's Grip, for example. He's going to need a BKB to make sure that's going to happen because he's got the Lincoln Sphere, of course. But a part of it is down to luck too, right? What
Oh, down
neutral
bottom.
items have they got?
By the outpost.
Tower is under attack.
Xiaoyu and Zhao Bonbon combined together once again with the Melodic. Kishka, he just cannot run into middle fight. The Melodic is doing so much damage, and now they're on to 11's Visage as well as RSG running rampant. And there seems to be no answer at the moment from Lilgun.
They're just cleaning up these Visage Familiars as well. It's like every couple of minutes they get plus 200 gold for nothing.
It's the Morphling is something that like we were both not big fans of because of how we felt like the lane was going to go. Honestly, I'm quite surprised at MKS and how decent a lane they actually had. But as the game goes on, I don't know if they have an answer to the Morphling. Like it's not like it's a greatest carry to carry matchup. Like yes, Doom is going to prove to be an issue, but we already see how he's itemizing quite defensively to make it difficult for Kishka to ever get that Doom off. So I feel like if he continues to get his farm, it's going to be very difficult to deal with MKS.
Even just there, like he attempted to make the play onto the Morphling, didn't end up happening. He's got the Fey Grenade though on the Doom, right? And we know that any single time that you've got something that's able to break that Lincoln Sphere, suddenly your team fight is so much more effective. It might not even necessarily need to be like the Fey Grenade into the Doom to be able to pick him off. Just the fact that you're able to get rid of that Lincoln Sphere once he gets BKB might make him feel comfortable in taking a team fight. And if that's the case, then you can get a Fiend's Grip off while the Lincoln's is still on cooldown. Look at Roger's positioning just right underneath his Observer Ward, making sure to catch out any kind of rotations coming through.
Caught you in your stubbies, did we?
4,000 net worth lead for RSG. 23 minutes in.
Radiant's bottom
Jiayu,
tower
what has he
is
got
under
coming out on the
attack.
choreos? Is he going Sunj? Oh my god, he's got Ags. Okay, cool. So he is Giga farmed.
Mm-hmm. He's the real carry this game.
Yeah, honestly seems like that. Sanctity. Alright, what's MKS's health pool? He should be okay to the burst, especially with this Nether Shell. You're gonna see the ward up there, and Sanctity will blink away as soon as he loses the vision advantage.
I mean, Jiayu's level 20, man. Like,
Radiant's bottom tower
he's
is
got
under
that
attack.
plus 20 strength. He's got the Aghanim Scepter now. Doesn't even need to pop the Elder Dragon form to be able to take this down. And the rest of the team, they're making the plays. I really like this because it feels like it's next to impossible to be able to take out this Dragon.
Sanctity gonna run to the Hoodwink. The combo's not enough to get rid of the life of Xiao Bonbon, and instantly they're gonna look to shop to the parties with Lasso controlling through the BKB duration. Sanctity's gonna run to the opposite direction, trying to get closer and closer towards the Doom. But there's nothing
Look at
really a
Xiaoyu,
position for
solo.
Doom can do, as Xiaoyu trying to solo down 11.
Dire's
Grave Chill's gonna buy him a little bit of time, but Xiaoyu further up the high ground they go. They've got the Fiend's Grip to hold them back. A BKB's gonna protect him from any other extra
Where's the
damage to
damage?
come out, and there we go. They use the Doom, but to no avail. A more top lane, Silen, no cancel. Nature's Prophet, who was trying to split push, and he might be able to get the tier 3 tower in reward for this. You high ground though.
There's still just no damage. You know, you get a Fiend's Grip off right underneath the tier 3 tower. There's no follow-up coming through after this.
No. You happy at least the Elder Dragon form is going to expire. Gonna jump the Morphling, protected with the Lincoln's for the moment. As they just blow up one MKS onto the second. No regards for life as MKS. Gotta respect him though. Oh, he gets too greedy. The combo is out. Sanctity with the burst and 4-2-3 to the backline he goes. A TP in. But RSG, do they feel like they can take the fight? Silen looking to show up. The Wraith Pack dropped on the ground. So with the damage mitigation, Lilgun have to respect this. They've got to respect Xiaoyu jumping in the middle, trying to find an opening, trying to find a window, but it's going to be Sanctity that does it instead. Towards the Witch Doctor they go with the burst. It's plentiful. Radiant, they have the ward on the high ground to play with. Cat and mouse in and out they go, just waiting for the combos to be back off cooldown.
Eventually, they do get rid of that Observer Ward on Xiao Bonbon. They're just up a little bit too far on the Witch Doctor. Looks like he's going to go into your favorite item, the Gem of True Sight. Although, are we getting caught out here on
Top
4-2-3?
lane. Yes, sir, they have. Lasso up the last second, maximizing the control. And with Xiao Bonbon being able to close the distance, that is a big kill to find, just slowing down this Nature's Prophet 1, third death of the game.
Guess what comes next?
Really doesn't feel like... I know he's got 16 kill involvements,
Bottom
but
lane,
to
they're
me,
setting
it
up.
doesn't feel like that.
They're setting up on Sanctity, it's going to be quick. Should be able to have the... Oh, no way. No way. Oh my lord.
Very nice.
Now they are coming to take a fight. MKS, 1100 health. Would hate to walk into the high ground, but that's Roger's job. Hello, lads. Goodbye, Roger.
I'll take that.
you hate to see.
Silern blinks on cooldown for 2 seconds. You don't want to lose the gem.
Radiant are scanning.
Might be able to take the fight. Although Furin's up in 5 seconds, so you got to be quick on RSG. Okay, it's going to move into the middle. A long bushwhack offering the control. Xiaoyu doesn't care about the Lotus up for the moment. They'll get the kill onto 11. It looks like Radiant, they do not want to take the fight. Just trying to split push as best as possible. Oh, Xiaobonbon. They see him. They see the Scorch Earth location, so another kill given over to the lads on RSG.
Proper skaks.
They're just going full rat dota right now on Lilgun's side.
Dire's middle
Trying to
tower
split the
is
map
under
up as much
attack.
as possible, but you've got a Bat Rider, you've got BKB on him, you've got Boots of Travel. Very hard, even with those Treants, to be able to take that one out there. It does feel like they're leaning further and further into this DKB in the hard carry. He's picked up the Hyperstone first. They're picking out a double damage at the moment. Just trying to pick up anyone that goes forward.
Trying to clear off the Crete wave, but puts himself in a compromised position. Base 12. Gonna put to buy him some breathing room with the Nightmare. Beautifully done. But yeah, you said they were pinging out the DD. You got Roche up in 13 seconds, so this is perfect timing for Dire. Easy walk in, see Roche walk. No, oh my, oh my.
Keep one in there. Come on.
Oh no. Alright, well you do see Radiant walking outside the base with this really cool Observer Ward. Just wanting to take the fight instead. Check
They
it.
see the Observer Ward though. They've got the sentry placed up there on the high ground. What do you give this this shard over to on RSG's side? I want to give it to
lane.
Witch Doctor.
Xiaobonbon's gonna run into 4-2-3. BKB TP out. That was his 8. Jesus, that was way too close.
The
Radiant.
lasso ready to come through.
Actually, decent spot for them to take the fight. So, and if he runs close to the edge, they will look to jump. Gonna be wary of this.
I know exactly where he is because of the fire trail, but
Oh.
that's an illusion, my man. There we go.
Dire's
Proper
He is- coming
skunks.
through there.
Con.
You're
give
half
me-
New Zealand. Is skunks a thing that's commonly used?
I don't even know what that word means.
I don't either.
Hey, how you going?
Why? Is it a New Zealand thing? You just.
I think it's a New Zealand thing. I mean, the voice actress is a Kiwi, so.
Always.
Proper skunks, mate. Alright. What do we got? Shard and Aegis, soon to be in the hands of RSG. Who do you give the shard to?
Give it to the voodoo.
Give it
Give him the voodoo switcheroo. Boo! They gave it to the Morphling.
Why, man?
Dire's bottom
I mean,
tower
extra
is
1
under
second stun
attack.
duration isn't horrible.
Who they ran into? Sanctus gonna be the catch. MKS to TP in just in case they're lacking the damage, which they might be if it goes for a TP out. Sanctus gonna make it.
Bottom tower
Really nicely done. They get the T1 tower as well, so. Okay.
I feel like it's not exactly accomplishing much of anything, though, what Lilgun are doing right now, right? They're slowly losing objectives. They've got 1 outer tower remaining. Sure, you've taken a tier 3 on the top side, but there's only so long that you can
They're
look
gonna
to
jump.
delay
Who
this
do they
one.
get? World Roger. Tough life as a support. Xiaoyu.
I guess now
He
that
doesn't
we've
really have
got the
anyone
level
around
20
him. Solo Doom, but he's pretty goddamn tanky as they're all grouping up for the multi-bushwhack. But they really need MKS for the damage at the moment. Kishka's going to end up going down to the damage over time, but does anyone else fall as well? Sharpshooters splitting the middle, but they're going to be cautious. They're outside the base, and Sillen's going to pounce Lasso on cooldown, but it will not matter. There's a Gravekeeper's Cloak buying him a little bit of extra seconds, but really only delaying the inevitable.
bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, it just needs to be the perfect fight for 4-2-3. He's got the
Radiant's
break
middle
now with the
barracks are
Silver
under
Edge, so
attack.
you can technically kill the Dragon Knight, but I think he's just way too tanky
Radiant's
despite
middle
that.
barracks.
You've also
Dire's
got the
middle
Sprout
tower
Leash
has
talent
fallen.
as well, which is going to be very nice
Radiant's
against a
middle barracks
Morphling
has
or a
fallen.
Bat or a DK, but I still just don't feel like it's going to be enough. You are lacking
Radiant's
damage.
bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So target
Radiant's
sanctity.
bottom
Two
barracks has fallen. Radiant's
think-
bottom barracks has fallen.
Oh, let's
I mean,
see.
they're doing this like 3v4 right now. They're just being able to take this for free.
All right, MKS. Locked in the Sprout. He's got the Manta if need be. Force him out. Great use of the Manta. Dodges the combo, but Sanctity's still able to get the toss back. It's only going to be the Hoodwink, but it puts Sanctity in a compromised position as Yu jumps in the middle. 4-2-3. Popping a defensive BKB, but they've got plenty of damage to go through this at the moment. They're lacking the detection. Looks like with the gem in the arsenal, Sanctity's going to try and buy back to offer some assistance, but he's soon to rejoin the grave, as that is all she wrote for our second game. And Lilgun, they will be our first team eliminated from the BTS Pro Series 11.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Certainly not the way that we were seeing it based on the draft, but again, it's just another one of these instances that Zhao Yu's done it again. You know, he was able to get way too much farm coming out of that, and you know, it wasn't a position 1 DK, but surely did feel like it this game with the amount of impact he was able to have coming out of the laning stage plus beyond.
Yeah, very, very impressed. Also, MKS, I think, had a very good game. Overall, RSG just wasn't just this one person in particular. I feel like they all did their role. And kind of how we've come to love this team, of course, with how strong they looked in 2-2. And of course, they looked a little bit more shaky in the group stages of the Pro Series, but really starting to pick up some momentum. You know, you're down to the nitty-gritty stages here with the playoffs underway, and they've only got one life here compared to some of the other teams. So they need to pull the bootstraps up, and that is exactly what they've done in this series in particular. But the question is, you know, they've got a lot of series to get towards the grand final. So next up, they're going to be facing Army Geniuses in a couple days' time. So they'll have a bit of a break to be able to watch and practice some more as well. But that is going to be it for our first series. Any closing thoughts, Mr. Gonad?
Not really. To me, it felt like you can only go back to this Visage strat so many times, and it felt like they didn't necessarily have the full lineup that was able to exploit it with, you know, a position 1 in a Nature's Prophet that felt like it was... I don't know. I know he did have a lot of kill involvements, but it really didn't feel like it to me. It feels like if you go this draft, you just need to play it so much faster that Lilgun did. So, you know, it's one of these cookie cutter things that hopefully for them, we get a patch coming out soon, because I feel like they're the ones that if they're the ones innovating, then they can really look to make a lot of success happen. But this just wasn't Lilgun Dota for mine. So we'll see what happens in hopefully a few days.
Yeah, well, that is going to be the end of the road for Lilgun, but like you said, excited to see how they're able to shape up for DPC. That's really where a lot of their attention is going to be put. It would have been nice to have a little bit more games played for the Pro Series, because if a patch does come, official scrims in a way to be able to prepare yourselves for that. Because really, at the end of the day, I mean, it's getting to the stages where Lilgun, they've been a team for quite some time, and hopefully the mentality is okay. I mean, in Mongolia, I can't imagine there's many plays that they can combine with. We often see it's like a full Thai stack, full Mongolian stack, full Myanmar stack. It's you're not going to have many plays that you can kind of swap in and out. So it's getting to the stage where you really need to start pulling some wins under your belt, because this is a team that was really expected to be in the Division 1 will qualify last tour. So if they're unable to do it this tour coming up, a little bit scared, of course, that is DPC talk, but is going to be very relevant coming up shortly. And, this team in particular, because we've seen them for quite some time. So again, unfortunately for Lilgun, they are going to be eliminated. Our first team, we do have another elimination series though. Next up, the lads on Patriots versus Motivate Trust. So this is going to be exciting last series of the night. We're going to have a bit of a break. It'll be about 40 minutes or so until that next one is ready to rock and roll. So we'll see you guys after the break.